We're in the middle of Zion, and the point the Alter Rebbe is saying here is, he just mentioned the pasuk that we say at the end of Pirkei Avos from Yeshaya, where the last Mishnah says that Hashem says that all that was created l'chvaydi, for my glory. And then the pasuk goes on to describing creation with these words: Barosiv, I created it; Yitzarativ, I formed it; Af Asisiv, indeed, I made it. So, of course, this is a very clear reference, one of the clearest references in all of Scripture to the Olamus of creation. In fact, the Mukabolim, the Kabbalists got the language from this pasuk because it describes Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah, creation, formation, and the world of action. So the Rebbe notes that it doesn't just list in that way. It says, indeed, af, indeed, the world of action, which points to the paradox that dafke in the world of action, Asiyah, that's where we reach a level that's beyond the worlds altogether, which he refers to. Here's the level of the keser, of the crown. The crown of Elikus, Hashem's crown, or his very inner, the Pnimiyus Ha'or. So that is connected to dafke through avodah down here. There's only avodah down here. It's true that the malachim serve God, but it's not called avodah. It's called mashorsin. And that means service, but it falls far short of the notion of avodah. Because avodah means actually to transform. As in ibud oiris, transforming hides and making them into supple leather. The term for that in the Mishnah is the word ibud, is to work over or to transform. So there's only avodah down here. So our avodah down here with dafke with the gashmius. So this connects to the level of af, or that which is alluded to by the level af. Afasiv, indeed, the indeed. The indeed is only in this world. There's no indeed in the higher worlds. Everything is predictable and beautiful and all peaches and cream. There's no aha, there's no indeed, there's no wow moment. But every time he does a mitzvah down here, it's a huge wow moment for all of Ishtalshalos, for the Eibishter himself. They actually never tire of it. You think after thousands of years doing mitzvahs, it would be like, okay, what's coming up now? It's not so. As we learned in the Bossi Lagani Mamorim, the Malachim are clamoring and Chaverim Makshivim Lakoilech, they come to listen to a Yid, learn and daven. It's forever a novelty. It's forever a novelty that the essence of Hashem is beyond them, and how can they connect to it? It's when they are somehow part of a Yid's Avodah, which they are. Because two reasons. First of all, as Chassidus gives the famous Moshe, when you raise a building and you raise it from the bottom, a lever, or a building or anything. So when you raise the bottom, everything raises. But if you raise it from the top, there's the possibility of the top separating and the bottom remaining where it is, or stretching the top. But from the bottom, everything is raised. So when he does a mitzvah down here, he raises all of Ishtalshalos. And moreover, we actually employ the malachim in our avodah, in our meditation before Kriya Shema, meditating on the whole heavenly hosts and so on. And then concluding, and who was Hashem chosen? What is his inner desired? Is a quote-unquote little yid down here with his quote-unquote little mitzvah, and it's not little. But compared to the vastness of heaven, we are tiny. But yes, in these tiny moments, machshava dibur ma'aseh, so this elevates everything. So we employ the malachim in our whole appreciation of Hashem's choice and relationship with us. So they get their tremendous elevation through our avodah, and they never tire of it. On the contrary, the closer we get to Mashiach's coming, the deeper the avodah is, because we're simpler. The choshech on one level is greater on one level, and we're doing our mitzvahs, so the connection to Atzmos Kevayochel is deeper and deeper, even though you can't go deeper and infinite, but the paradox is you can. Anyway, that's another discussion. At any rate, so what are we saying? So that's the afasisiv, indeed in this world. Now, the Rebbe went on to explain that the parallel, that the af refers to the level of keser, which is the level of alikus, which is higher than the worlds. And the parallel to that is, within the nefesh, is rotzen. And so without repeating the whole arichus that we spoke about the last few days now, or more, as we traced all of the other conscious faculties of the nefesh, from the koyach hamaskil, all the way down to action, we demonstrated that this is all ilava olol, a chain reaction, a cause and effect, notwithstanding that the causes are very lofty compared to what they produce, seichel versus midas, and so on. But still, they're close because one naturally produces the other, because what is produced is already there in the result is already there in the cause in some latent way. Not so rotzen, relatively speaking, not so will, because will can manifest itself in endless ways, and it's not like you look at the consequence and you see that in the will. As we demonstrated yesterday, the same rotzen that one person may use. The drive to be successful, to be something. So that drive could be the drive to make money, to be an athlete, or drive to understand, to want to understand. And if people activate the rotzen in whatever area of life, extraordinary things are achieved. But what's clear is that the rotzen isn't bound to any of this. It's just a raw will for expression. What kind of expression? Anything. I want. What I want really means I want to express myself. How would that be? There's endless choices in the array of human endeavor. In contrast to Tainug, which we mentioned yesterday briefly, is not I want, and not even I desire. It's more I am. It's an essential thing. So there's the I am remains I am. That remains unexpressed in anything. But I will is a manifested drive. But the point is, it's like a yesh ma'ayin. Whatever that want ends up manifesting is like, could be anything. So you want to make money, you want to be strong, you want to learn, you want to understand the maimer. So it could be endless expressions. So there, as we learned earlier, for the expression to whatever the thing is, to be successful, the will has to be, the drive's got to be constantly, every day it's reaffirmed, I want to understand. It's really a conscious thing. It's a conscious fuel that has to fuel constantly the particular manifestation of the will, because again, it could be anything else. So if it's this, the will's got to be constantly inputting. All right, so yes, yeah, folks, little nod of the head. Yeah. Not seeing anything, not seeing any reaction from people. Yeah, okay. Thank you, okay. So now let's continue. So in the middle of, if you have it's page 73, I don't know what edition you have, but it's towards the end of Isaiah. So we'll start from Kamaikin, Lamaila, so likewise above.
The line beginning with what?
Acherim. It's if you have page 73, it's 3/4 way down. By the period in the middle, or Kamaikin. The line begins with the word Acherim. Yeah? Got it? Yes? Kamaikin. Lamaila, so likewise above, having just talked about the Rotzen in the Nefesh, and how it produces Yesh Ma'ayin, which is virtually something out of nothing, because Rotzen is a pure will for anything. So it's Yesh Ma'ayin, and that means it's got to be constant for that thing to continue. The drive has to be front and center and conscious. The will. So to Lamaila, Hinisavas HaChacham Keser, likewise Chachma coming from Keser, is with derech yesh ma'ayin. So now the chiddush is So this essential level of the will, the keser, which is higher than the whole ishtalshalos itself. Where do we access Hashem's will? Dafke here. Push it, simple language. What does Hashem want with its whole ishtalshalos? That's all it means for an end. The Rotzen Atzmi is he wants to be part of our lives. He wants a dir betachtonim. So this af asisiv, the wow, the indeed, is where asisiv, I made you. Not in the world of Bria, not in the world of Yitzira, but in the world of Asiya, where the neshama comes down the matter. As he goes on to say, when we say the world of Asiya, what does it mean in which world? Eilam Hazar Gash means this world. Or Ba'avodah, what does it mean in Avodah? It means in Maisa mitzvahs. Now the world itself, till we do a mitzvah, is also of no interest to Hashem. No more or no less than the higher elements. In fact, less, because there's no truth there in the world till we bring the truth. But when we do, that's the ultimate truth. So here, the world of action, on a simple level, literal level, doing the mitzvahs. On a subtle level, ma'ase meloshen kviya. The word ma'ase, interestingly, like all Hebrew words actually have many meanings and they're all related. So the word ma'ase we find not too often employed, but we do find it means to coerce. As in ma'asin ala tzedakah, that the tzedakah collectors or the Bezdin can compel the community members to give tzedakah. It's called ma'asin. We compel them, we coerce them. It's like a tax, you got to pay it, right? That's the word ma'ase. Implied is that it doesn't come easily to do. We have to, there's iskafia involved. We have to, there's discipline. So in this world of iskafia, of overcoming resistance and doing mitzvahs, so herein, this causes the transcendent light of Elikus to be drawn down, the Rotz and Pnimi, the oil of the, which was revealed on the very first day of creation, that Hashem saw that was good. The Tuvoi, His goodness, all of these things are aligned. All the things we learned earlier in the Maimer. Like it says in Zoya, we're all familiar with this from the Babasi, Laganim Amorim, Kadiskafia, Sitra Achra, when a Jew in this world subjugates the Sitra Achra, the other side, this causes an effusion of the glory of Hashem. This means this level of Sovev. In all of the worlds, as we just mentioned, not just this world, but all of the worlds get elevated because they're all bound to this world, because they only exist because Hashem wants this world. We're not an afterthought. We are the whole point of it all. Because He wanted the bottom, He built the top. Not because He wants the top, He had to build a foundation. We build a building, you don't need the foundation. No one looks at it, it's buried, it's gone. But you can't build upper stores if you don't have a foundation. So you dig deep into the ground and then cover it with nice concrete, hopefully grass, and you build our building. Not so with the Eibishter, the opposite. It's the upper stories only there because He wants the lower story, because He wants a dir betachtonim. Just to share with you this, that's something that Yossi Kessler said to me the other day, Rabbi Kessler. A simple observation that when a Yid, according to this Maimar, this statement of the Zohar, that when a Yid subjugates the Sitra Achra, so a Yid causes the revelation of the glory of Hashem in all the worlds and in this world, the essence of Elikus. This is every Jew. Even the greatest so-called sinner, non-observant Jew, not even sinner, any little, whatever level, it doesn't say who you, any level of his one less thing, one less indulgence, one moment of discipline, no matter for whom or for what, or whatever level, unqualified, causes the istalik of Yikodah de Kutshabircha B'chol Almin. It's not something you have to aspire to levels, one day. No, today, in this moment, in my machshava dibur maisa, a moment of discipline and iskafia causes this great time of Lamaila and its revelation down here. Worth contemplating, appreciating. So, Masha Kosov, second last line of the page, this is what the pasuk says in Kehelas Ecclesiastes. Gam es olam nosam belibam, that Hashem gave the world to their hearts, referring to us. The ba'olam lashon helem. So the word olam lashon helem, which means concealment, that's its deeper meaning. It means the world. It also means concealment. Yes, beish pirush. There's two meaning in the words olam. Pirush aleph. The simple one is, what's the concealment? Lashon helem v'hester. Concealment in the negative sense, where shegam b'leikus sheba'olam, even the godliness is in the world. Last page now, friends. Who behelim is concealed. So this is a world of concealment. And the Rebbe says, even that level of Alikus, he's referring here to the Malak Alma. This may only the merest reflection of Alikus that's responsible for the nature of the world that's also concealed. Or Pirush Abeis, now the other extreme Pirush, like the word Mamish, we pointed out. Chelik Alakamim al Mamish. Two extremes, Mamish, tangible, and Mamish Alikus. So here, like in the word Helem, Oilam, Meloshin Helem, that concealment, what the concealment he gave to us. Level one, this concealed world, that's our domain, which conceals him. Second Pirush, Koyel Helem Atzmi, it means concealment in the most virtuous sense, as in Atzmos, the very essence of Hashem is concealed fundamentally, which means that any revelation that he makes is a choice to reveal himself. He didn't have to, because the Eibishter is beyond revelation, period. Revelation, again, means otherness, being revealed to something other. And Hashem is totally beyond the whole notion of otherness, totally. So Atzmos is Helem Atzmi, this concealed, meaning to say, this essential concealment beyond the whole Geder, which means world of light and revelation, which is already projection, an outward projection of some kind. So this Helem Atzmi, which means his very essential self, who did he give to? To us, in our heart. Belibam. He goes on to say, that this concealment, meaning his very self, he gave this to us. No malachim, no worlds can access. There's no avodah there. The Pnimiyas Haratzon is not there. They all serve the end. And the end is Nosam Belibi Shel Adam, is us. And we connect to the Helem Atzmi, and then all of Ishtalshalos, as we mentioned, is suffused with Hashem's essential being as well. Concluding the paragraph, Shadei Avedis Adam Megim Malakavin. So through the avoid of a person, the three pillars which this ois began with explaining, Torah, avoid, and Gemilas Chasadim, and explained it as, actually the order of the Maimah here was avoid the Torah and Gemilas Chasadim. At any rate, as he explained, without repeating this now, so through this avoid, the Mamshichim es Helem Atzmi b'Helem ha'olam, we reveal the essential concealment of Atmos in the concealment of the world. This world that conceals him is the world that reveals his essential concealed, the I am of God. Therein lies the ultimate paradox and irony, and the ultimate emes, the ultimate truth. The emes says that every time a Yid does a mitzvah, he's connecting now to this. But it's still, even for us, concealed. But the main gili will be when Mashiach will come. We'll continue. This is the last small ice of the Maimer. And then, Be'ez Hashem, tomorrow, we will give an overview of the whole Maimer. Be'ez Hashem. Yeah, so let's continue. Are we okay to continue? Fisher, what do you say? Good. So Nosan Beliba, given over to the heart. It's heartwarming to see everybody, or at least to know that you're all present. I don't have to tell you this. The famous mission of it, more than the teacher gives to the students, the teacher receives from the students. First and foremost, by the showing up, and certainly by the interest and questions and what have you, and contribution.
The muscle of the eagle is better.
Chaim likes the muscle of the cow more than the calf wants to drink. the mother wants to give. Very painful to have and not to give. Yeah. Okay. They say look more like a goat than a calf, but all right. You don't know that joke? It's a great story. I'll tell it to you one day. Okay.
I was going to say, as a mother,
About the goat or the calf? What do you want to? Go ahead. Sorry, Elsa, go ahead.
No, about the cow. I can appreciate what you're thinking. I get it. Like anybody who's nursed and knows it, I can understand wanting the baby to nurse more than the baby wants to nurse.
Yeah, there you go. Malchus. That's the mile of Malchus, where everything is manifest in a very tangible way, very real way. Okay, concluding now, and this is on the 8th day. Remember the Maimon began. The Maimon is Vayehi, the 8th day was revealed. The Medrash says 8 goes on beyond the Ishtalshalus. We'll review all of that tomorrow. But the bottom line, we all know this, that 8 from the Kliyakar, the famous Kliyakar, that 8 is one that rides atop 7. 7, of course, is the 7 mid. The 7 is the 7 days of creation, Ishtalshalus, and 8 is beyond Ishtalshalus. So the question that my master at the beginning was that one of the midrashim on the pasuk says that on this day, the 8th day of what? The 8th day following the 7 days of preparation. So it was the Chodesh Nisan. On the 8th day, the Shekhinah was revealed, Lamata, and the Avodah began. And then the Siyum began the next 12 days to bring their inaugural offerings, right? So the Medrash says, Rashi brings it, or doesn't bring the whole quote, but Rashi brings the beginning of the quote, that on this day took 10 crowns. Crown means beginning, but we understand the crown means Yin of Keser, more than just the beginning of something, as the simple meaning of the Medrash. But this day embodies the level of Keser in 10 different ways. Now, one of them is, there was a Sunday. That day, the Chodesh Nisan was a Sunday. So what's the crown? The crown of being the first day of the week. And the Rebbe's question was, but the whole point is we're saying, Hashmini is beyond the 7 days. And the Medrash is saying it's day 1 of the first week. You bring us down into Ishtalshalus, into order, into structure, into creation. And the whole point of Hashmini is that it's beyond. So this is the whole arichas of the Maimer, that is referring to the light, the oil that was revealed on the first day, but it was subsequently concealed. And there's 2 opinions: concealed immediately or concealed after Shabbos. The Maral, if you recall the explanation that I gave, the voice note on the chat, on the WhatsApp. At any rate, not Negeya. What's Negeya is that this first light was revealed on the first day and then hidden for the tzaddikim, and as Baal Shem Tov said, hidden in Torah. So the first day of creation, we mean that answer, in other words, when the Medrash says the first day of the creation, that's the Maila, one of the 10 Mailas of Rosh Chodesh Nisan in the year 2448 after creation. That was the year the Torah was given and the Mishkan was established. So, what do you mean by the first day? We mean that light that was revealed on the first day, subsequently hidden. And then the Rebbe went on to say that from the Zohar we see that this light is available every Shabbos and Yom Tov. And the Rebbe takes the Zohar even further, because the Zohar hints and goes on to say, Hashem doesn't withhold this light any day. So be'emes, the Rebbe is saying, through Avodah, we reveal and connect to this pristine light. Now, light we mean here, this Keser, the Oyer Kitov, the Kavanah Pnimis, the Pnimis Oyer. We reveal and connect to that Lamata. Every day, through Avodah, to be fully manifest when Hashem comes, of course. But the connection is made now. So let's now go back to the beginning of the Maimon. Rather, the last ois, which goes back to the opening pasuk. Are we clear there, friends? Yeah, and this is what the pasuk says that it was on the 8th day. When the Mishkan is finally, the Avodah begins, the day Avodah is HaMishkan or Migdash, through the Avodah of the Mishkan and then later in the Migdash. Skafia v'ishapcha, which that whole Avodah is explained in the Basi Lagani Maimorim at length. And in the footnote, he sends us to the original Basi Lagani of the Fidige Rebbe. that everything in the Mishkan and the main Avodah in the Mishkan and the Mikdash is Karbonis. That's Avodah. And what is all that about? It's about Iskafia, resistance, control, Ishapche, transformation, channeling the Nefesh HaBahamis. So through this Avodah b'meshech Shivas Yemei HaMiluyim, that this was all done for the 7 days prior, grappling and dealing with Elam Hazeh, taming the beast. Shoingin Shivas Yemei HaBinyan, the 7 days of creation. So through the Avodah with creation, with Shiva, with Nefesh HaBahamis, who is nature at its most powerfully expressed nature, human nature. So through the Avodah with this, then comes the Hashmini, Hashmini. So this all elicits through the Avodah of building the Mishkan and so on, which is the Avodah of working on ourselves and working with the world. So this in the end culminates in the 8th day, the Gili Shalamayim Ma'ilamis, higher than creation. And as the Medrash said, Vayehi not al Eser Atar, is that they took 10 crowns. Hainu, Shebesviris Habina, the level of Bina. We'll leave this for a moment because that's the level of the Shmini. Yeshtem Kola Eses Sviris, all of the 10 Sviris exist there. Ad La Torah Shibichinas Keser, including the ultimate crown, which is the Keser. Keser Gufa Yeshtem Kola Torah, and in Keser we have all 10 crowns. Namely Keser Shebekeser and Chachma Shebekeser, all of these levels at their crown level exist there. V'atorah Rishon, and the ultimate crown is Bechinas Keser Shebekeser, the crown within the crown. In other words, Pnimis HaKeser. And what is that? This was all taken on that day. In summary, the 10 crowns on all of the levels, up to the very source of the 10 crowns, which is the crown within the crown, Pnimis HaKeser. And what is that? When was that revealed on the first day of creation? That this goes on as the Pasuk says, Hashem separated the light. He saw that it was good and he separated it. And that's where Rashi brings this. He separate light. How do you divide light? So Rashi explains, because he separated this light and put it away. No longer revealed. According to Rashi, it was the first day that this happened. According to the Medrash, it happened after Shabbos, and other Mauritians still enjoyed it and used it on the day of his creation as well as Shabbos. You enjoyed it, used it, experienced it. At any rate, so the idea of separation explains that, but means it's totally beyond creation. He separated this Eir unto himself, which we access through Mishkan, through Avodah. Nonetheless, and yet, the interesting thing, he adds to this nuance, that this pristine light didn't precede creation. And then you have this pristine light revealed, which is beyond time, you would think, and then comes the 7 days. No, this was revealed on the 7th day, but then concealed. Because Hashem is saying, I want you to reveal this within the days of creation. So at the very outset, it happens, milamaila, that this Eir is revealed in day 1 of creation. Not pre-creation, but day 1 of creation. And then removed, and then through Avodah V'yid, revealed within creation again, this time forever and in the deepest way. Is that clear? That this Eir wasn't revealed before the whole process of creation began. It was revealed on the first day for a fleeting moment. Because God's saying, I've kind of done this already. It was revealed in my created world. I've removed it. And now you will reveal it through your Avodah. In fact, first what you got to do is take my created world and corrupt it a bit, or a lot. There's going to be sin and all kinds of concealment and all kinds of yeridah, all kinds of descent. And yet, and dafke, in all of that descent of Helam on the concealing, simple Hasidic meaning, concealment of this world, you will reveal the Helam Atzmi, this Eir that I have separated and kept, as it were, unto me, concealed from you. You will reveal that in the deepest way. And he put that in place on day 1. it was the ultimate kavanah, except it wasn't done through avodah, and it lacks all of the whole desire of us partnering with him and making this world a dira b'tachtonim. But it's there. Day one of creation, what happens? This oir is revealed, at least for a moment. That's what we're going to go back to. But immeasurably richer and deeper, having come through our avodah and through even concealment that goes beyond even the natural concealment that Hashem made. But at the end of the day, even the concealment that we do through sin, that's also his plan. Everything is. You know the famous medrash, Chassidus quotes all the time, that after the sin of Adam Arishon, he turns to God and he says, you framed me. Because in your Torah it talks about death and tum and tahara, and you're blaming me for this, and the Torah was written before the world was created. And Hashem's response? Silence. And David HaMelech in Tehillim alludes to this. Noira alila al bnei Adam. God plots awesomely against man. Awesomely. Noira. Yeah, at the end of the day, even my failure is part of the kavanah, because through tshuva, we are going to connect to the Helam Atzmi in the ever deepest way. The only question that is, we're going to finish the Maimon tomorrow, but the only question that remains is, we can finish it, is, what are we waiting for? That's the only question. That's going to happen, that is inevitable, because we are neshama, and Hashem's inner kavanah is invested in us, and it works its way through us, whether we like it or not. It cannot be repressed. The only question is, do we embrace it and give up all kinds of other illusions and fantasy and machinations, or continue to ignore it to whatever degree, each one on their level. That's the only choice, sooner or later. Let's conclude. So revealing this Eir Kitov, which was there momentarily at the outset of creation, which we reveal through Avodah Naseh de Torah. This is then Hashem said, where did Hashem hide this light? It's in Torah. On the one hand, this light is hidden in Torah. It's a perfect hiding place, as it were, because the Torah precedes the world. So it's going to remain hidden there. However, our Torah Yorda Lamata, but Torah descended. These are the two extremes in Torah pointed out earlier in the Maimar. It's high in the world, but it came down to the world, as Moishe Rabbeinu retorted to the Malachim on Shavuos. When Abishter said, Moishe answered their howl of protest, how can I give this Eir Kitov Lamata? So Moishe Rabbeinu answered to the Malachim, in the Maimar here, the Mitzrayim Yeradetem, did you go down? Are you going down to Mitzrayim? Did you go down? Yitzhara yesh b'neichem, do you have a Yitzhara? No, you don't. We do. And the Torah therefore is given to us. This Eir Kitov is dafka for us. For the we who have a Mitzrayim, limitations and a Yitzhara. Through Torah we reveal this Eir Kitov in this concealment of the world. Ella, it's only the sha'achav of the Helamadai. Now it's present, but we don't appreciate it. All we have now in the revealed way, you say, all we can understand and appreciate is the descriptive manifestations of Hashem, say, Chesed, Gevurah, because we have Chesed and Gevurah. So we can understand in some measure what that means. That's where our understanding is. Shunyin Hasoga, so now we only have the experience on an intellectual level, he's saying. And what can you understand intellectually? That's what you can relate to. And that is finite levels of, finite manifestations of Elikus. However, when Mashiach comes, and as we're learning in the previous Maimon, Vayehi, Yezhairu, that we have this now in Chassidus now already in a very subtle but very deep way. We have it already now, but now he speaks about its full revelation. In the future, Yim Bekiyas Hanor. So the river is going to split, going to open up. Bina is going to open up. We're going to experience the Etzem HaChochma. Shebekiyas Hahela Masoga. This will be the opening up of the concealing aspect of intellect, which is rational and can only grasp that which has dimensions to it. That's going to open up. Commission is Maimar HaKedim is explained in the previous Maimar, Vaskilim, Yezhairu. So then it's all going to open up, and it's already started to Chassidus. and especially in the Rebbe's Maimorim, and then will be the revelation of Atzmos, the very essence of the Eibishter, and that's what the pasuk says. The river will open up into 7 streams, and they will walk across in shoes. We explained that in the previous Maimah. That's the avodah of the leather making it, of the hide making it to leather, transformation of this world. And then what? They will pass. They will go through on foot in shoes. Sham nismacha boy, and there the pasuk says, "We will rejoice in him." Boy in him. Boy in him means batzmusa, his very essence. You merit that. I'm sorry.
If you can please explain the next time you say your mamshich 10 ksarim, how does it start from keser shebekeser?
Okay, I said it very briefly.
Wait a second, including malch shebekeser is 11, not 10.
Okay, well, okay, tomorrow we'll address it. I did that quickly. Okay, Mr. Hashem, tomorrow we'll address that and give an overview of the Maimer.
I have a question too that
yes.
Says this all comes through Torah, but in the previous lecture, the one before that, he said that the whole Gilui is an Asiyah, Maisa Mitzvahs, no?
Yeah, he means Torah in the general sense.
Like avoid of Torah and Mitzvahs.
Yeah, because how do you know the mitzvah to daven? How do you know there's mitzvah to daven? That's in Torah. How do you know that there is a mitzvah? It's all in Torah. It means the general sense of Torah. You follow? Yeah? Okay. Torah mitzvahs, in other words. But moreover, I mean, every giloi, everything, even mitzvahs needs Torah for its full giloi. Everything happens through Torah. It's the channel for everything.